Did you know that right now, someone is probably reading your mind? No, I'm not talking about psychics or magic. I'm talking about something way more powerful, and it's happening every single day of your life. Think about the last time you bought something you didn't need, or that time you agreed to help someone even when you were super busy. Ever wondered why? That's what we're diving into today, and trust me, by the end of this video, you'll never look at your decisions the same way again. What's up? I'm Jake, and today we're going to uncover the hidden world of human psychology. Not the boring textbook stuff. I'm talking about the real, raw psychology that's controlling your life right now without you even knowing it. Let me tell you a quick story. Last week, I was at this coffee shop and I noticed something weird. The barista wrote my name slightly wrong on the cup. Jake instead of Jake. Now, normally I wouldn't care, but I found myself thinking about it for the next hour. Why did such a tiny thing bug me so much? That's when it hit me. Our brains are way more complex than we think. Here's the thing about psychology. It's not just some dusty old science. It's the key to understanding why we do what we do, why we feel what we feel, and most importantly, how we can use this knowledge to live better lives. But before we dive deeper, let me hit you with some mind-blowing facts. Did you know that your brain makes up about 2% of your body weight but uses 20% of your energy? Or that you make around 35,000 decisions every single day? Yeah, let that sink in. Now you might be thinking, okay, but why should I care about psychology? Well, imagine having a user manual for every person you meet, including yourself. That's exactly what psychology gives you. It's like having cheat codes for life. Let's break down the 5 biggest reasons why understanding psychology is crucial in today's world. The social media revolution. Think about how much time you spend on social media. The average person spends over 2 hours daily scrolling through their feeds. But here's what's crazy. These platforms are built using psychological principles to keep you hooked. They know exactly which buttons to push in your brain to make you stay longer, scroll more, and come back for more. Let me break this down with a real example. You know that little dopamine hit you get when someone likes your post? That's not an accident. Social media companies have entire teams of psychologists designing these features to trigger specific responses in your brain. They're literally playing with your emotions and winning. The power of influence. Have you ever bought something just because your favorite influencer recommended it? Don't worry, you're not alone. This is where consumer psychology comes in, and it's fascinating. I remember when I first learned about the principle of social proof. It completely changed how I saw marketing. You know those only 2 rooms left messages on hotel booking sites? That's psychology in action. They're using our natural fear of missing out, FOMO, to push us toward making a decision. Understanding yourself better. Here's where things get really interesting. Psychology isn't just about understanding others. It's about understanding yourself. And let me tell you, this is where the real magic happens. Let's do a quick experiment. Think about the last time you got really angry. Was it really about what happened at that moment? Or was it about something deeper? Psychology helps you understand these patterns in your behavior. I used to get super anxious before any public speaking. Then I learned about cognitive restructuring, a fancy term for changing how you think about situations. Now, instead of seeing public speaking as a threat, I see it as an opportunity to share ideas. Simple change, huge impact. Relationships and communication. This is huge. Whether it's with your family, friends, or that person you've been trying to work up the courage to talk to, psychology is the secret weapon you never knew you needed. Let me share something personal. I used to have this recurring argument with my roommate about doing the dishes. It was driving us both crazy. Then I learned about something called the fundamental attribution error. Basically, how we tend to blame others' personality for their actions while excusing our own behavior due to circumstances. Once I understood this, everything changed. Instead of getting angry, I started having actual conversations, career and professional growth. Here's something they don't teach you in school. Success in almost any career depends more on understanding people than on technical skills. Whether you're a business owner, employee, or freelancer, psychology gives you an edge. Think about it. Every job interview, every sales pitch, every team project, they're all exercises in psychology. Understanding how people think and make decisions can be the difference between getting that dream job and wondering why you got passed over. But here's the really interesting part, the part that most people don't talk about. Psychology isn't just about understanding these principles, it's about applying them in your daily life. And that's where things get exciting. Let me show you what I mean. Remember that coffee shop story from earlier? Well, it turns out there's a psychological principle called the spotlight effect, where we think others notice our mistakes or flaws way more than they actually do. Once you understand this, you start worrying less about what others think. Now, you might be wondering, how do I actually start learning psychology? Well, that's exactly what we're going to cover in next week's video. But for now, let me share one powerful technique you can start using today. It's called the 5-second rule. And no, it's not about dropping food on the floor. When you're about to do something that makes you nervous or uncomfortable, count backwards from 5 to 1, then do it. It sounds simple, but there's solid psychology behind why this works. Your brain can't process both the counting and the anxiety at the same time. The truth is, psychology is everywhere. It's in the colors companies use in their logos, the way Netflix autoplays the next episode, and even in how your local supermarket is laid out. Once you start seeing these patterns, you can't unsee them. But here's what really blows my mind. And this is something I discovered while researching for this video. Psychology isn't just about understanding the obvious gibber. It's about uncovering the jabber patterns that control everything we do. Think about this. Every time you make a decision, your brain gibber through a complex process involving emotions, past experiences, and unconscious biases. Understanding these patterns gives you a jabber, the ability to make better choices, build stronger relationships, and ultimately live a more fulfilling life. I could go on about this for hours, but I want to hear from you. What's the most interesting thing Gibber learned about psychology? Drop it in the comments, Gibber. And hey, if you found this interesting, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, we're just getting jabber with the mind-blowing stuff. Remember, understanding psychology isn't just about reading minds. It's about Gibber life itself.